Sully. So Sully follows the true story of airplane pilot Sully, played by Tom Hanks. Back in 2009, he was able to perform a miracle landing on the Hudson River, saving over 150 passengers on board. Shortly after the landing, airplane pilot Sully was declared a hero throughout the nation. However, what we didn't get to see and what we do get to see in this film directed by Clint Eastwood is all the stress and guilt that Sully was going through when being accused that he might have made the wrong decision. That's all I'll pretty much say without giving any spoilers to you guys. This is a spoiler-free review. I'm just going to tell you what I liked about the film, what I didn't like, and then hit you with a rating system just like this one. I have to say, when this movie was first announced, I had to wonder, is there enough content here to make a full feature-length film? Because while I do find the event to be very heroic and even a miracle at some times, is that event long enough to convey a whole hour and 30 minutes worth of storytelling? But then you have Tom Hanks set to be the lead and Clint Eastwood set to direct. That immediately shuts me up because these are two guys highly respected in the industry who have proven themselves time and time again. I thought, okay, no matter what they do, it's going to be gold because these guys are on board. And of course, when the trailer popped out, it just reassured me that yeah, they've made the right steps here and this is going to be a pretty darn good film. And walking out of it, I can say, yeah, this was a pretty darn good film and I enjoyed it quite a lot. Some of the strengths of the film definitely come from Tom Hanks. Anytime you have Tom Hanks attached, you know it's going to be good, unless you're doing the Da Vinci movies, but that's not your fault, Hanks. You signed a 3-picture deal. We get it. It's okay. One more to go and you're done, right? What I like about Tom Hanks' acting is he's always able to bring this humanizing quality to every character he plays. Now, we've seen Tom Hanks play real-life characters and he's also played a couple of fantasy characters. And this film is no different. In the film, you really get a sense of the guilt and stress going on in Sully's mind when he's being accused of all this stuff. Sully's being told he made the wrong decision, that he in fact endangered a bunch of lives by purposely landing that plane in the river. You understand his worry, his post-traumatic stress after going after a horrible event and then still being attacked about it afterwards. Not only Tom Hanks was good in it, but Eckhart's character, the co-pilot lead, or Harvey Dent with a porn stash, his character brought a little humor and levity to the tone of the film, which I really enjoyed. Because honestly, if it wasn't just Tom Hanks, it'd be a little dreary and sad. Another positive definitely has to be Clint Eastwood's directing also, because he was able to structure this film in a non-linear way. He's conveying the story to us in a way that even if we've read all the news report and are completely caught up with what happened back in 2009, experiencing this film for the first time, you're being told these events in a way that cannot be done through reading it on the paper. Honestly, if the event of what happened on the Hudson River interested you at all, this is a good watch because you get a better understanding on what was going on in this captain's mind and what happened to him afterwards. I myself thought he was just declared a hero. That was the end of it. He continued on with his life. I didn't know he went through all this stress. The film is definitely insightful and keeps the audience interested because you're definitely rooting for Sully to make it out of these accusations that he's being accused of. And although I was happy with the film and what I was able to see on screen, there was still one thing bothering me throughout the film. It is my main concern that I had when this movie was announced, is that there isn't really enough material here to warrant a full feature-length film. If you even look at the runtime, it is an hour and 36 minutes. An average movie runs about an hour and 30 minutes. And when watching the film, you can kind of tell, okay, they did not have enough material here to warrant the film because they're even repeating scenes and adding some characters that really didn't need to be in the film. This could have easily been fixed with adding more of a biographical element to the film and looking into Sully's past, because although I saw these events and how they affected him, I don't feel I've completely known the Sully character in this film. And I know I can do my own reading on Google and find out what Sully's life was like, but if I just take this into account as a film, I want to know it all right here and there and not have to go home and find out extra information. Still not bashing the film, not telling you it's not worth your time, because it definitely is. If you were interested at all in the events on the Hudson River that day, you should definitely watch this film and see what the man had to go through. One last thing I want to say is definitely kudos to Clint Eastwood for not bringing up any 9/11 references. That's one thing in the film I actually really much appreciated, especially in a film that comes out on the weekend of 9/11 and deals with a plane crash. You have to admire the work of avoiding any 9/11 references in this film because those events are actually very separate from what happened on the Hudson and on 9/11. So I definitely have to give kudos to Clint Eastwood for keeping that respect in the film, because you know you could have easily have made a 9/11 reference and it just would have come off tasteless in the film. But anyways guys, those are just my thoughts on Sully. I definitely think it's a good watch, but I know it's not for everybody. If you're a guy who likes action-packed films, if you like to be thoroughly suspensefully entertained, because this film is more of a sit back, sit down and watch, kind of slow burn film, and more of a character piece really. It is for me, but I understand it's not for everybody. But as always guys, I'm Chris and I leave you with the 3C Film Review. Take care.